This podcast is brought to you by the Deluxe Edition Network. To find more great shows on our network, head over to theden.show.
I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Don't quote me on that.
And then you couldn't stop talking about it.
No, I could.
Let me see one of those so I can see how it fits in my big old paw. Till next time, go take on the world. What is going on? And welcome to Take on the Word.
This is Johnny.
And Mike D.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got another knife review for you. And
I would say we have a plethora of knives.
we have, some we've dealt with before.
I don't have one. Oh,
and
go ahead, keep talking.
Some we have not. This is the Haltafor Craftsman knife.
Haltafors.
Haltafors.
You little wiener. Okay.
Just lay down.
Lay down, you little one. Yeah. All right. So this.
So for those who might be confused, if you've seen our other knife reviews, this looks very similar to the Mora.
To Zamora. Yeah.
Like if you would have handed that to me, I would have thought that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're probably gonna beat this thing to death again because I'm sure there's I know there's a million more knife reviews out there, and I highly would suggest one because they're awesome. They're cheap, and if you break one, you have 20 more left in your bag.
But you don't like the sheath.
I don't like the sheaths on any of these really. But I'll show you a mod that I have done, and I think we touched on this the last time, and that really makes them a lot better for what they are. So, anyways, without further ado, here's the Haltafors Craftsman. I don't know. Should I go over all the features? Who gives a fuck? It's a fucking work knife. Like, you take this to the work site.
It's carbon steel. That people usually want to know that.
Okay, carbon steel. You can see I put a mustard patina on there. That one actually turned out really well. I think I just got a Q-tip and dab, 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 dab. Let it do its thing, wipe it off, clean it, and do it again. You do it like 3 times. However, the thing I like about the Haltafors is the tang. The tang goes to about here. It's like three quarters.
So it's a lot longer than the Mora.
It's a lot longer than the Mora. Now, I watched a video years ago. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I tried, and you cannot get these in the States anymore. They don't sell them to the States. I tried like hell to get them on any kind of website, and you just can't buy them. Which is awkward because they're awesome. So anyways, I saw a review of this knife. It was actually, this is the carbon steel, and I also have the stainless steel Haltafors. Same exact blade profile, handle profile. Doop, doop, doo, doop, doop, doo. Except for the blue is stainless, orange carbon. So this guy took a carbon Haltafors sideways like this, frickin' hammered it into a tree all the way up to the plastic, and he stood on it and was jumping up and down like that, trying to break the frickin' knife off. He pulls it out, and it is, I want to say it was damn near straight as an arrow. It might have had a slight bend to it, but that's what had me sold. I was like, holy shit, I got to get one of these. Like, and he wasn't like, you know, he wasn't a smaller guy, but he was, you could see the thing like, you know, going like this as he's jumping up and down on it, and then smacks it out of the tree. And that's when I had to have one. So, as far as me beating this thing, I haven't. I've just had it in, I actually lost this. And then I was going through my stuff and I found a bag from like, oh my God, holy shit, I thought I lost all these. So I have the Haltafors Craftsman, the Haltafors Craftsman in stainless, and which, by the way, these all have Scandi grind. Oh, I'm sorry. They have a Scandi grind with a secondary bevel. So, for those of you that don't know, Scandi grind is one bevel on each side. Very easy to sharpen. You lay it on a stone, the same angle, lightly go back and forth. The secondary bevel, you lay it on the stone, lift up a little bit, and sharpen it. Now, the secondary bevel gives it a little bit stronger edge, and it's less. Did you find them?
On Amazon.
Wow. Okay, they must have started selling them again.
So it's $16 to $30.
Okay. Well, okay, I stand corrected. You can't get these again.
Look at that little jabby.
Yeah. They also make a plumber's knife, which I wanted to get. So it has a file on the back here, so you can file down your copper pipe as you like ream it out and everything. They make chisels and all kinds of shit. There's an auto punch. What the hell was I talking about here? So, I was talking about the Scandi grind and a Scandi grind with a secondary bevel. So, I like to put a secondary bevel on them. I think it's a little bit stronger and it's less susceptible to chipping and wearing down. And when done right, you can easily get it razor sharp again. Now, these do not come with a 90-degree spine, so I had to file down a 90-degree spine on them, which is no big deal. It's super easy. And anybody can go out to the store, Home Depot, Lowe's, buy a file set or buy a file for like a couple bucks, and just sit here and just go, shh, shh. Just nice and slow. Take it easy. You know, you got all the time in the world, and it might take you about 20 minutes, but you'll get a 90-degree edge, and you can spark a ferro rod, fire steel. And this is a stainless one. Did the same thing. 90-degree spine. And guess what? Guess what you can do with this?
What can you do with that?
Guess what you can do, Mike?
Can you strike a fire rod?
Yahtzee! Okay, so here. Since I'm a knife hog here. They fit your hand pretty well. I got big, chunky, beefy fucking hands.
I like these.
Yeah.
They're just like the Morris.
Yeah, they're just like the Moras. I think they're a little stronger.
I think the handle might be a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
Come get me, man.
It reminds me of like a knife that you would encounter on like a fishing boat.
Yeah.
Like a guy's just like gutting bait all day long with this thing. But like I said, the only thing that I don't like about this type of knife is if you have to get up close to something, like to sharpen it here, you can't get that like last little bit because of the handle here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I had the problem with mine in the work sharp.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so you have a big sanding thing and you can, but you're going to take off half of your fucking handle. So, I mean, whatever. So,
but for $15,
hey, $15 is $15. I highly, when I took that orange one, I think I took that to Colorado and I passed elk hunt. I'm pretty sure I took this one. Has that this is the sheath that it comes in. And for whatever these fucking Swedes or wherever this is made, I know more is Sweden. They have this button system.
Yeah, it shows it.
It's like their pants have buttons on them.
It's called a work trouser holster lock.
Yeah, so your work pants, which are probably provided by the government, they have a button on them that will fit into this hole, and you just kind of like lock them onto your suspenders, your belt, your fucking leg. I don't know what the fuck they do over there, but oh, excuse me.
This podcast is brought to you by Bear Claw Kitchen. Head on over to bearclawkitchen.com and check out their amazing selection of granola bars and granola snack packs. They also have hazel and spice granola butter, maple syrup, pancake mix, and a few different flavors of jam. So, once again, head over to bearclawkitchen.com and use code DELUXE15 at checkout to save 15% off your entire order. And then it's time to devour and claw on.
So what I did, I think there's a flap that comes on. Here it is. Here's an untouched Haltafor sheath. So it has this little flap on it. Oh my god, let me see if we can fucking open this thing. And I guess that's how it's supposed to. You put this over your button and then fold this over top so it doesn't come undone. And I don't have any of that shit, so I cut that flap off and I tie a rope around it. And now, guess what? It's a nice little neck knife, yeah. So I dangle from your neck and you go pokey pokey when you walk around. See? Just don't let your big tits get in the way.
You do the hokey pokey.
Turn yourself around.
That's what it's all about, bro.
So that's how I carried all these knives when I went hunting. I would carry it like this, and I have a jacket on over top of it, buttoned up, and I would undo the middle button, and I would just kind of stick it right in there, so it's always hanging down right there.
So we went to Colorado this time. I took my Mora, and it was in my emergency kit with my Fire Strike and.
Was that a Mora I gave you?
Yes, it was.
Did it have a 90-degree spine?
Yes, it did.
Carbon or stainless?
Carbon.
Okay.
I didn't rate stainless.
Okay. I got nothing against the stainless, but typically outdoors guys like carbon. It's got a better reputation, stays sharper longer. The only thing is you got to worry about rust. So you can kind of see in this picture here, I have it dangling off my neck.
Dangling off me neck.
You see this little indentation here, which you do not see on the untouched Haltafors. Okay. So what I have found with Moras and Haltafors, this one actually did pretty well. You get a little heat gun, right? Heat this back part up, put the knife in there.
And press down on it.
Where we go here. And press down on that. I forget what I did with the. I think I took like I can kind of see numbers in there. Like I took a bolt head or a rod or something and just pressed down on it. Because if you do it with your fingers, you're going to burn the shit out of your fingers. And then this plastic doesn't really melt easy in the fact that, or in the way that it's easy to make it look clean. And I'll go to my next one. And I'll show you. It was the first one I did, and I messed it up, but it still works.
I can see it from here.
Yeah. But instead of the knife, you could go like this. Same with the Mora. And it falls out of the sheath. Not something you want to have with your work knife, especially if you're hunting with it or if you were using a survival knife. So when you do this, it ain't coming out of there. And you can hear the pop when it goes back in. So that, hands down, makes this sheath way better. And this plastic's pretty tough. I mean, I don't see this breaking off.
So it's not Kydex.
I wouldn't say no. I think Kydex is harder.
It's just PVC.
Yes. We'll go to
the one you fucked up.
Here's the one. Now this is the beefier Haltafors. This is what's this one like?
I'd have to look.
You see how fucking ugly that is? Try and get close. So first I tried experimenting. I tried melt.
That's not the Outdoor, is it?
Yeah, I think it's the Outdoorsman.
Is there something on? Is it?
No, that's a Mora. Right? No,
that's a Halter.
I think this was the Outdoorsman before they changed it to that one. Or I'm sorry, no, that's the heavy duty.
This one right here.
Yeah, this is the Haltafors heavy duty. So I did the same thing. I cut that flap off. I put a neck loop on it, paracord. And in experimentation, I tried heating this up, pushing that in. That didn't work. And then I was like, oh, let me try this. So I heated that up and pushed that in, and that did work. Now, it's got all this gunk over there. I just wrapped duct tape around it, black Gorilla tape, so it looked a little nicer. That again is a carbon steel. That is a hot apple cider vinegar wash. So that's about 3 passes in hot apple cider vinegar. And let me tell you, this one I carried in Colorado for 2 years on my elk hunt. 90-degree spline on it. I loved it, dude. I cut up all kinds of crap with it. I tried to start a fire with the ferro rod and the steel, and I suck at it. I would have died in the wilderness had I had a lighter. I swear to God. I grabbed this shit what I thought was like old man's beard, and it it was old man's wet ass beard, and it didn't light on fire for shit. But yeah, you see right off the bat,
you grabbed old man's juicy ass hair.
Yeah, old man's fart stained hairs. Clicks in there, not coming out, freaking great. But the heavy duty is a little bit different than the regular. You can see right off the bat the thickness of the blade.
And the thickness of the handle.
That's
more like the more.
Damn it, I'm not really at a good angle. It's got a bigger handle. Bigger blade. I think it feels more comfortable, but there's only so many things you can do with a thick ass blade like this. You know, you can't do some of the finer details you can with this.
You do stabby, pokey, pokey?
You can do stabby, pokey, pokey with this, for sure. And I believe this one has the 3/4 tang as well. So, I had like 5 of these at one point, and I gave them out to like all kinds of different people. In fact, I have a brand new one here, which I have not altered the sheath. That's the original. The only thing it does not have the sticker, if it even came with a sticker. But you see how easy it is to get out of the sheath without any modifications. Just kind of slides out. I didn't even give that a 90-degree spline. It's kind of rolled over. I guess they're stamped out. But again, that's carbon steel, just not rusting. Then we can kind of... Am I hitting on the notes here, man?
Yeah, you got it. You're on it.
Okay. Then we got, of course, some of my favorites. Zemora. Bing, bing, bing. And like I said, here's these Swedes with they love their interlocking. How does it work? You flip it upside down and cut your fucking hand off. Slide it down. So now...
Well, Haltafor actually sells a double sheath.
What do you mean a double sheath?
It has a sheath and then there's one attached to it.
Like a blank?
For like a utility knife.
Huh.
I think it was on Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing's just foreign to me. Like, I could just see me showing up to work. Oh, okay, so it's got like a razor blade.
Utility knife.
Yeah. So you would dangle this off your 5th knife, and then you have like 8 knives hanging down.
What knife shall I stab you with today?
So again, so you folks can see here. Turn it. There's a tab here you pull up on.
Just pull the knife out before you cut yourself.
It's not a bad idea. There we go. Did we get that on camera?
Yeah.
Not that I really use them. So that's a stainless Mara. That's a carbon steel Mara.
And I'll have to link the Mora. At the end of this video, we'll link the Mora.
This thing's starting to rust. Even though it's got a patina on it, it's starting to rust. So, no big deal. Hit it with a little bit of oil. I usually take olive oil with my camp knives and stuff. I don't like motor oil on my knives.
Why not?
Or I'll take canola oil. If I want, I'll go Asian. I'll put some sesame oil on it. Put a little bit of that on it.
Sesame oil is too freaking expensive. You got Facebook?
You got Facebook? So yeah, like I said, I believe if we could get a picture of an X-ray of the tang of the Mora.
I had a hard time finding it.
Did you?
Yeah.
So the Mora's tang is fatter, I think, but it only comes to about halfway. But I've seen tests on these Moras where they beat the piss out of them too, and
I think once they embed it in that plastic, that it's pretty much
yeah, for a $15 knife. And then here's a really old knife of mine. Yeah, it's a Mora Companion, and I made that sheath for it. It's not bad. The Kydex kind of got overheated, bubbled up a little bit there, but I think it's it's a stainless Mora Companion. But man, that feels great in his hand, in my hand, and of course, bingo,
nice and tight.
That's what you want to hear. Did you feel the? I think this would be perfect for your big old.
That comes out so easy.
I know.
Yeah, I like that one. I'd have a good time stabby with that one.
Stabby, pokey.
But it needs to be put it under my heat lamp and pinched a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's a good modification, though. I have never seen... So I hope this gets out to people who have a Mora-type knife. Now, the companion sheath...
Or if someone stays away from the Mora-type knife because of that.
Yeah. But the companion-type sheath, not this one, the one that comes with it originally... I haven't tried it yet, but the way it's designed, it looks like that pinch technique wouldn't work. Because some of the Mora knives, they have like these little ridges inside. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a little raised bit right here. And that groove fits in this little, or that raised bit fits in that groove there. So these work well too. You just pin. You don't need much. You don't need much. Just heat it up till it's pliable and just kind of squish it down and let it cool. And
I like that little more jobby there.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck would you use that for.
Stabby.
Like that's got to be smaller than this thing.
I think it's about the same size.
So, what we went over: sheath modifications, Haltafors. And Mora.
They look identical.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. I wish we could get an overhead shot of that. That'd be kind of... Maybe we'll take a picture of it, I guess.
I'll leave it lay there and I'll take a picture when we're done.
All right. But hands down, I would pick any of these knives. I would just do the sheath modifications on them
and the spine modification.
Put a 90-degree spine on it. And I think you've got a rock solid survival knife, hunting knife, get me out of danger knife, stab a serial killer in the neck knife. Just saying.
So the Haltafors Craftsman Haltafors Craftsman knife, and I'm going to link the Mora below.
Haltafors heavy duty. The Mora 110 and the Mora Companion. Oh, I'm sorry, the Mora one. You're missing your one digit. I don't know what the fuck that's called. Mora 115. Mora Basic 546. Yeah, I was way off. All right. Wait, that one's... anyways, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
So, inexpensive, solid knives. We took them on. You go take on the world.
I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Don't quote me on that.
And then you couldn't stop talking about it.
No, I could.
Let me see one of those so I can see how it fits in my big old paw. Till next time, go take on the world.
Our podcasts exist because of listeners like you. To find other great shows, head over to theden.show. Thanks for listening.